This is Duke University.
Let me just say a few things about where you are. You are sitting at the all-desirable Duke University. I say that because you may have read the figure, but just stop and think about it. We had 31,565 applicants for the class of 2016. This is a 55% increase from 5 years ago, and every year it just goes up. Why is it that 30,000 people want to apply for the 1,600 places at this school? I consider that just a no-brainer of a question. Is there a more beautiful university in America? If so, I don't quite know where it is, and I challenge anyone to come here on, say, the 1st of February and argue the proposition. This is the land, you know, I only wore my winter coat one day this winter. It was in New York. This is the land. This, you know, and actually the day we had our admitted students, they came to campus, it just seemed so unfair. It was one of those days that you have pretty many of here that looks like the first day of creation. You walk outside and you think, the world is a beautiful place centered at Duke. So first that. Second, whenever you come here, you're just going to feel that this place is defined by the buzz of energy, the buzz of high spirits that characterizes the life of our students. I'll just pick a couple random impressions. Walking here today, I walked right by the theater where last week there was a production of the musical Ragtime. If you've heard Ragtime, you know it requires an immense cast. It has exceedingly complicated music to it, 40 singing parts. Students who had never done anything together came together to put this on. Faculty in music, in drama, in theater coached them over the space of many months. The production was just amazing. This is a team sport. You know, we all know about basketball, but this was another sport of people discovering what they could accomplish together that none of them could begin to accomplish on their own. I sat next to Manny Eisenberg, a friend and Duke parent, who was the original producer of this play on Broadway, and he sat there with tears streaming down his face as he just watched the joy, the talent and joy that was on stage at that time. The last time I was in this room was when Condoleezza Rice came here about a week ago to speak to packed house here. But what was so fun about that was at the end, everybody else had to go away, but she met with students. She actually met with 2 groups of students for an hour each, not for her to pontificate, but for them to ask her questions. And you just know some student who's a freshman or a sophomore here today grilling the person who was Secretary of State during a very challenging time in our history, you know that one of those students is going to occupy that job in the future, and that the fact that they came here and got to test their wits on such a person will play no small part. This is the week we had a barbecue for the members of the senior class, thousands and thousands of people. All of them seem to be friends with hundreds of other people. I realized at a certain point that I was talking to someone I knew, but I hadn't thought of her in the barbecue capacity before. This was a person named Becca Ward. I knew her because she's the student who had to come late to Duke in her freshman year because she was busy winning the bronze medal in the Olympics in Beijing that year in fencing. Since coming here, she has won the individual national championship in fencing 2 further times. And actually, we have 4 other students who have won the national individual championship, 2 in swimming and diving, 1 in running, and the most recent in the heptathlon. But what's so interesting about these people of outstanding accomplishment, Becca Ward ought by rights to be training for the 2012 Olympics, but she decided to skip that one because she would have had to miss all the academic opportunities that were at Duke in this time. She spent last summer doing an internship in public policy in Washington that Duke made possible for her. Plenty of time for fencing later on. And when you saw her at the picnic, what was so fun was everyone knows that she is utterly outstanding in this way, but in that room, everybody just regarded her as one more great person, one more member of the Duke family. So it seems to me this is the kind of atmosphere you have around here, an atmosphere of endless and varied talent where students collide off of each other, bombard each other, reach out to all the opportunities that surround them, and then sort of find themselves through this endless engagement. And I'd have to say, at such a university, the most serious obligation of the administration of Duke University is to create opportunities that live up to the level of talent and ability of the students who come here.
Produced by Duke University, Online at duke.edu.